December 2nd.
You are listening to Weather with Enthusiasm.
We have Arctic air moving into the north, serious Arctic air, but as summer weather stays anchored in place over the Gulf Coast states. There's a very solid upper level ridge, mid-level ridge that is over the Gulf of Mexico. That's at some point these things are going to collide, and we will see incredible storms at some point whenever that happens. Not only that, the longer it takes for that to happen, the stronger the storms are going to be, because the greater the temperature contrast is going to be, and the more moisture available for the storm is going to exist as well. Not only more moisture, but when dew points are higher, it also produces more energy. December 3rd, 2022. Calm week expected for us here in the Midwest. Some ups and downs as a zonal flow with various fronts move through during the week. Cold front moves through for Tuesday, bringing colder air into our area. Another front moves through later in the week. Could be some precipitation with that one. Minnesota could get some snow, very little though, from both of these systems. The next excitement for here in the Midwest comes next weekend as a Colorado low develops. The track of the Colorado low, of course, there's not much confidence in it right now. European computer model shows that it will be going north of the Chicago area. This puts Chicago in the warm sector of the storm, which means precipitation would be falling as rain. It does show a little bit could fall as snow at the end. We do have some forecasters that feel that there's already going to be cold air in place here in Chicago, which would cause the precipitation to fall as freezing rain or sleet. However, climatologically speaking, Chicago does not get ice storms. It's a real rarity. The place that really would have to watch out for significant snow is most likely going to be Minnesota, according to the European computer model. According to the GFS model, it's going to be further west than that, probably the Dakotas. Additionally, it looks like it will have Gulf moisture. Amazing heat, amazing warmth and humidity continues on the Gulf Coast. And a cold front moved through the Houston area today. Meteorologists can't even, apparently it's not even detectable. It's barely detectable. And it's only detectable in regards to dew points as of earlier today. And that's quite remarkable for something like that to happen this time of the year, December 4th. Just a frontal boundary. That's the front it's like a summer or a springtime weather pattern. There's not even a strong low pressure system associated with what's going to be going on in the south, at least initially. The high pressure area over the Gulf of Mexico is situated in such a way that it's allowing ample moisture from the Pacific Ocean to flow right into Oklahoma. There's a complete weather pattern change that's expected to take place sometime between Wednesday and Thursday. Right now we have a high pressure area. It's called a blocking high. It's over Greenland. This high pressure system is expected to break down, says the Minneapolis, Minnesota National Weather Service on Thursday. But until it does so, it is difficult to forecast what exactly is going to be happening with the low pressure that develops in the southern plains on Wednesday, or more like the southern high plains, but then tracks into the central plains. But one thing seems pretty clear. There is a front, basically a stationary front, that's going to situate itself on the Gulf Coast states, occasionally moving north, as far north as perhaps even Missouri. In fact, even Cleveland will get into the warm action later in the week. That low pressure system is going to intensify and drag the front north as a warm front. is that the precipitation that falls from the front, as of now, is expected to be light. It's not until the real low pressure system comes in that the precipitation becomes heavy. But a beneficial rain is expected for the St. Louis area as of now. The heavy rain could move north into the St. Louis area, but the Ozarks seem to be part of this, and even extreme southern Illinois could be getting a couple inches of rain from the setup this week. We have a series of low pressure systems which will be riding the front in the southern parts of the Midwest, or more accurately, probably the southern plains and the south central states, into the Ohio Valley, including Cleveland. And there's also a series of low pressure systems that will be riding in the northern stream up in Minnesota. 3 low pressure systems, 2 of them affecting the same area up in Minnesota over the next 3 days, central and northern Minnesota, but each one has very little moisture. The following measurements of of an inch to an inch is referring to snowfall, not the water equivalent. About a half of an inch to an inch for each one, so you might end up with a total of 2 inches for parts of northern Minnesota, a total of about an inch perhaps for southern Minnesota. There is some potential for Chicago. There's some potential for Thursday night and Friday, which will be the second half of the storm system. There's potential for perhaps some accumulating snow. And then we have another storm system again that develops for the latter part of the weekend. That's been on the radar screen already for the past several days. December 5th. Rainfall in the amounts of 2 to 4 inches. This may be affecting parts of Memphis, Tennessee, Little Rock, Arkansas, Nashville, Tennessee, areas around there. Surrounding that, 1 to 3 inches of rain. This is in response to a stationary front that's kind of been hanging out around the Gulf Coast, and we've spoken about actually this past Friday, where dew points are getting quite high in that area due to a stationary area of high pressure. And as the New Orleans, Louisiana National Weather Service has pointed out, moisture does not go away. So we have lots of fog in that area. That front moves, it's stationary around the Memphis area. It's going to start to push north and even make it as far north as Cleveland by Thursday afternoon, bringing spring warmth into that area. As temperatures go into the 50s for that area, highs in the low 70s for Memphis. Periods of rain, some of it could be heavy with some thunderstorms expected for Memphis, Tennessee for much of this week. Between the period Tuesday through Friday, again, we have 2 to 4 inches of rain. Now, what's going to be happening is, so we have this strong storm system that's developing over in the central to southern plains on Wednesday. We have that blocking high over Greenland. That's what's been preventing the storm from moving east. That high breaks down on Thursday, and as it does so, the low pressure in the plains starts to move east. Behind the front, we do not have Arctic air. We have Pacific air, the 3 ingredients necessary to produce a major winter storm here in the Midwest: deep low pressure, Arctic air, and Gulf moisture. So we have the Gulf moisture, we have plenty of it. We have the low pressure, but we do not have the Arctic air. So nonetheless, there still could be some significant snow on the back side of the system. The air, we are dealing with the month of December right now, so even though the air is of Pacific origin, first of all, it's only probably it's about 90% Pacific. There still is some portions, which some of that air is coming from areas further north. So we have the possibility of some type of accumulating snow, but the definition of a major winter storm is 6 inches of snow or more. In general, we do not have those ingredients over here, so it's going to be difficult to pull off a 6-inch snow. You could get a 3 to 6 inch snow maybe instead of those 6 to 12 inch, but you'd really have to be right in the center of the bullseye. That front moves down to the southern Mississippi area, and it remains stationary. Believe it or not, it remains stationary, and it moves back north as a warm front by Sunday, bringing spring warmth into much of this country. The warm front pushes north of Memphis by Sunday, And it remains to be seen how far north that front is going to go, and if it's in response to another storm system, which I believe it is, even a stronger one. As of yesterday, the European computer model showed the next upcoming storm system on Sunday to be significantly stronger than the one we have Wednesday and Thursdays. So an interesting pattern to be taking place this time of the year, for it resembles more of a spring-like pattern and will actually bring spring warmth into many cities this week. You have been listening to the podcast Weather with Enthusiasm. You will now hear a 1-minute trailer.
Several additional feet of snow is expected by Monday morning.
We have a powerhouse typhoon which has developed off in the Pacific Ocean. A big shockaroo to many of you. This is especially true in regards to what's going to be going on in Alaska. We have parts of the world that are so hot right now. Temperatures are expected to go into the low 130s. Here we have a special guest on our show. What is your name?
Synopsys.
A heat wave that's going to be headed to the Eilat area. We're going to have to wait before we get into the next excitement. We're going from one extreme to the next extreme. 27.1 barometric pressure. Feet of snow are falling in Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Weather. That's a time of celebration.
Just Google Weather with Enthusiasm and they're all going to come up.